Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Last night it started to warm up, and so the streets were like slick as dog snot, and it was very, very dangerous, but I was super careful, and I thought by this morning it would already be really, really melted, but it's not. There's still a lot of snow, but by tonight there probably won't be any. It's going to start raining here really, really soon, and it's going to warm up to about 40, and tonight at about 11 o'clock it's going to have been raining all day and been around 40, so it's going to be cold and wet and miserable. Not much ice left, good, bad, indifferent. Nature is the one with the hand weapon that goes boom and fires, bits of metal far distances. I don't want to get demonetized, so I have to use euphemistic terms. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, it is a brand new day, and that is a very good thing. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully you are doing well. And of course, to front load the video, thank you YouTube algorithms. Hey, if you could interact with those YouTube algorithms and toss me a like if you like what you see in here, if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you could leave me a comment, that would be very, very awesome. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people literally help to keep me alive, and that is very beautiful. I know the list is out of date. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to push through my executive dysfunction to get that done, and I will. So thank you very, very much, each and every one of these people, for helping me to survive. It is appreciated to no end. Definitely thumbs up. My wrists are tired. I have no idea as how long I should keep my hands up there. Hopefully it wasn't too long or too short. If you'd like to become a patron, hey, I have links to my patron in the show more video description. Don't know where it is, but if you could check it out, that'd be cool. Yay, front loading and videos over. At least I don't have sponsorships. I'm far too small of a channel. I've got a lot of spam, scam emails for sponsorships, but they're the kind of things that you're going to get hacked bad if you respond to this sort of stuff. So no. Still though, life is life. I was sad. I got to the tree maze last night and all the lights were unplugged. It was just dark. But I went through it anyway, and it was still fun. I enjoyed it even though it was dark. I kind of wish I'd brought my camera, but I got it when, one of the times when there was light, so that's good. Definitely thumbs up. Just need to find or buy a new card reader. They're cheap, so it won't be hard. Yay! Past that, though, I haven't been doing much. I've just been trying to survive. It's been the holidays, so people aren't doing a lot of really constructive stuff. And, with this weekend especially, it's the weekend, tail end of the holidays, and, can't get much done on the weekend. So I shouldn't feel bad about not getting much done. And I don't really, because while I'm not getting much done, at least I'm getting something done. And I've been feeling better now that things are over holiday-wise. I'm not feeling a ton better yet, but, the ride isn't still going down. I'm not plunging downward mood-wise. I'm not even at the plateau where I have been. I can feel it starting to come up. And that's a very, very good thing. Oh boy, is it ever. So that part's good. Hopefully I'm going to be able to start getting stuff done come Monday, and that'll be good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Yay! But as stated past that, I've been trying to play some video games and trying to stay active that way. I have been watching videos, trying to learn things. There was one video, yes, in fact, I was watching one of these Drew Durnall videos this morning. He does live streams, and his YouTube stuff is like, the compilation of just the best stuff, kind of hyper vlogged and one of those reaction type things. But one of the things is because he reviews memes and maps, they are actual real things. And one of the things he mentioned, because there was a meme about it, that we actually accidentally dropped 4 nuclear weapons on Spain. In 1966, a US B-52 bomber crashed. 4 nuclear weapons dropped. 2 of them actually exploded. Luckily, it was just the detonation part that's supposed to slam the radioactive stuff together so that it explodes. That stuff blew up on 2 of the bombs. It's scattered radioactive stuff everywhere, and you can still find radioactive contaminated ground now, and of course you will. It's got a half-life of tens of thousands of years. But hokey smokes, something I didn't even know. Sorry about that, Spain. So you learn things if you actually want to try and learn things at times. A good thing. It's Drew Durnall, Durnil. He's a funny guy. If you like that sort of history and meme stuff, he's good to watch. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Past that, all I've really been doing is trying to stay active mentally and work on my story stuff. I mentioned a whole bunch. I'm just going to largely talk about just the creative world building, because I don't really have anything else I can talk about because of we've had snow on top of everything else. In Shelton alone, we've had the snow since the 25th. So that's locked everything down. We got the pandemic that has locked everything down. It's been the tail end of the holidays. Everything has just been culminating, and Shelton is at a standstill. So I don't feel bad about not getting things done. But again, stated, still working as best I can to try and stay active up here. Yesterday I had talked about how one of the things with the characters of Daff, who's, Daphiid, comes from the inside, and, the razor's edge, and then Bakir, James Baker, who was about 23 when these things happened, and at first had gotten mildly sick, and that was the beginning of it, and then at the tail end of the sickness fell into a medical coma. When he woke up in the hospital, he was largely restrained with teams because he hurt some people bad, has no memories of it. That was when he was really starting the massive physical changes that happen when you become a cryptid. So he was 23, this happens, and he went and ate the cop, went out, staggered around, and was just horrified at it, found Daff. And Daff, I've discovered, just thinking about that, is largely me. He's an affable character, finds it really hard to hold any kind of grudge at all. Just a nice fellow, and even though doesn't know he's been a cryptid, has been one since a very early age, but always thought being human, it was by choice he did what he did, and he's just hung out on the fringes with the misfits, hanging out with cryptids, not actual people. And that's largely still me. And so he's socially awkward. He doesn't hang around with people a lot. He still interacts, of course. But being a cryptid, one of the things I was thinking about on that, they discover, and as well, what I said is when Bakir asks Daff, when they discover that he is a cryptid, do they want to just go out and murder someone because, hey, that's what Daff can do? When he asks that sort of question, he is being largely bombastic and hyperbolic. These are not common thugs and murderers. I do not like common thuggery and simple common murder. That just disgusts me. And so, no, when he says, you want to go murder someone? Even though being hyperbolic and all that, what he's just saying is, Daff is a transactional, transgression, punishment type of cryptid, where when you come into interaction with one of these types, like a lot of Japanese mythology stuff, you may not know that you are being given a test, but you are. You may not be asked a question. It may be presented as a statement. It may be just presented as what you see in the situation around you. You have to answer properly and do all the things right, even if you don't know you're being tested. If you fail, that's the transgression, and then there's the punishment, which could be, an object, a memory, body part, or your life. And if it's your life, they may find your body, they may not, because, maybe that particular cryptid, so hard to say. But as it turns out, because there's programming as well for cryptids, but Daff turns out to be one of those kinds of transgression cryptids. Thinking back on his life, he had a bad cold when he was like 12 or 13. He sneezed a lot, but that was all. And he just moved out to the outside. There was none of that energy he needs as a cryptid in the razor's edge. Just enough to keep them alive, but not much more, so he always felt suffocated until he moved outside, and there it is. So he's just been hanging around with cryptids. The few times that he has come across people where it's been that situation where he's either asked a question, implied a question, or made a questioning face in silence, all he's felt is, for him, just a momentary, mild annoyance. And what Daff calls blind rage, most people would call minor frustration that you forget in just a moment. Vocal cords there, my apologies, that you just forget in a moment. And so, through his life, he's had periods where there is the interaction, there is the transgression, but for punishment, as soon as they fail the test, that mild annoyance drops and he's like, oh, get out of here. Who cares? Who cares what the answer is? You're fine. God, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to make a thing out of it. So when Bakir asks Daff if he wants to go murder someone, it is simply, when Bakir eats a human being, it is for survival. He has to devour a human being per week. If he doesn't, he will die. He kills only to eat, and he eats to survive. That is what he does for his own personal ethics and morals. He will not kill unless he has to, out to simple survival, or he will just kill to live to eat. He's not going to just murder anyone. He went through a dark period where Daff actually talked him down, because I talk about human beings and people. When I talk about people, I mean intelligence and sapience. When I refer to us as human beings, I just mean another meat animal of a species. So when Daff is trying to talk him down from not hurting an actual person when he doesn't need to eat, he's going, look, yes, you need to eat human beings, but if you kill that person that you're holding, and just refers to that person constantly as person, because at that point he would be killing to do something other than just survival. And at that point, he's just an animal. And Bakir comes to his senses, lets the person go, likes humans, likes humanity, still isn't sure what they are because they're not human, but they're obviously not an animal. They still have to find out what they are, but they're not going to kill. Daff, by nature, is one of those cryptids. You cannot judge a cryptid and call them evil because they kill, because that is their nature. If you go into a pit filled with venomous snakes and you get bit by a venomous snake, is it the fault of the venomous snake, or is it your fault for going into a pit filled with venomous snakes? Cryptids are cryptids because they are cryptids. That is their nature. Daff's nature is, as a cryptid, is to do this. But Daff's nature is not to do that. And so, it sounds hyperbolic to go, do you want to go murder someone? They actually just talk that one out. It's like, yeah, it's my nature to do this as a cryptid, but it's not in my nature as Daff to do that. So that's why they're not just going to go out and find someone so that Daff can kill them, because as his nature is perfectly within his rights to do so. Daff likes people. Now, cryptids generally cannot interact with other human beings except those that are going to be victims, but Daff can interact with everybody. Part of that is the cryptid nature, and part of that is Daff's nature, because the cryptid nature views everyone on the planet as a potential victim. And so Daff can interact with everybody, because to him, everybody is a potential victim. But Daff's nature is to just interact with people because he likes them. So yeah, the dangerous predator part says everyone's a victim, but he uses that just to go, hi, glad to meet ya. Who are ya? A nice guy, doesn't interact with a lot of people, mostly just because of social awkwardness, withdrawal, and all that, but likes being around people and likes, the accoutrements of human civilization. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. There are far, far less than 25 people who have left me comments in the last 24 hours. That's okay. Anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you all. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I got an American Sign Language, with my depression and everything, my memory just is bad. And ever since November, since I've been medicated with my ADHD meds, cannabis is now hitting me like a mule. It used to just give me pain control and a vague feeling of goodwill. Now it gives me pain control, a vague feeling of goodwill, and it kicks me between the eyes, and I just sit back for a long time trying to figure out what I am and where I'm going. So joy. Let me call on my Chrome before I say more bad things about myself. We have Daniel Soares, thumbs up and thank you. Ice Damon, always good to see you. Alex Valbuena, thumbs up and thank you. And I will try to do that. I'm not really thrilled, but I'll try and do that. Luke Black Elk, thumbs up and thank you. Red Hot Chili Fan 98, Hokey Smokes. Anyone who works retail, mass respect. Gertos GT, thumbs up. There's Ben B, Hokey Smokes. It was a very, very good cake. Thumbs up and thank you. We have Juniverse, thumbs up and thank you. Kapaki, I celebrated New Year's by going to bed before midnight, I think. No, actually I was awake, but I just sat here in front of my computer. Hey, life is life. Then there is, it's not gonna pop, but it hurts. Ladis, Ladislao. Loera. I have no idea how to pronounce that properly, but thank you very, very much. Capitalist Apocalypse, thumbs up and thank you. We have Curlew Piper, thumbs up, and that is it. 12 people who, 12. Thumbs up. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text and if only for a short time. Greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. And with my hands in the air, I don't know what device you're watching this on, don't know where the video description is, but inside of that I have links to all my various channels. If you could check that out, that'd be very cool. There are also links to things like my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. Literally, these beautiful and awesome people help to keep me alive. I am disabled, I cannot work, and my disability barely pays my rent. Without these people, I would barely be able to eat if I could. So thank you, each and every one of you. If you'd like to become a patron, I do have links in the show more. That's a definite thumbs up. If you would like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. If you could send me any of your spare cash, I'm not above grubbing for that. When you got next to nothing, anything helps. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, I do have an Amazon wishlist link with things like cat food on it. If you could check that out, that would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that'd be very cool. A definite thumbs up on that. Yay. If you watch past this, thank you so very much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I do this channel and my vlogging for my own mental health, and I have still have people in the comments telling me that my videos help them during periods of hard time. So if you watch this far, thank you. It is greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Definitely a thumbs up. Please remember to seek creativity in life, seek positivity, and seek balance. These are a good foundation. They're not the only foundation, and they're not just you shouldn't stop after you've done the foundation building, but it's a good start. One good start. A good start. And of course, with the Covfefe bug still raging, the variants out there doing things, and here in the US, we're setting world records for new cases daily. Please, do your best to not be a statistic. Try not to be around other people. If you have to, maintain your social distancing. Wear a mask. Wash your hands often. Try not to touch your face. Get a vaccine if you haven't. Get a booster if you can. Please, please, please. The bug is not political. It is just a disease. And the long-term effects of this are horrific. So please, please, be safe. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is, in my book, a very good thing.